Dunedin this week. March break has arrived. That means a chance to watch
this offseason. That means adding some left-handed bats. Not that the Blue Jays' excellent right-handed hitter.
Reported to camp, he told me this is the best the knee has felt in a couple of years.
Just another really tough weather day here in Dunedin, Florida. Not a clouds are in town, and they have got a lot of youth and prospects in their lineup. Jackson Holliday was the #2 pick a couple of years ago. He'll play later on.
And they were making hitters uncomfortable, inducing a lot of soft contact.
Step and ramping up, getting that pitch count elevated. 0-2 against the Blue Jay right-hander Chris Bassitt. There are 7 left-handed hitters in this. Actively acquiring Matt Chapman. Chris Bassitt went to New York with the Metropolitans.
The opening day outfield for the first time this spring. Varsho and left seeing that knee, and Denny Jansen behind the dish. Series and a loss to the Dodgers in 2020, but a 3-time gold. I think Kevin and I think the Blue Jays would be thrilled if he can give them 115, 120 games over the years, but now he is on their side.
Bassitt taps the pad in the 2-2.
Trying to avoid the damage areas of hitters, and when you can move the ball around.
He got a well-rounded experience in just 1 year with the Mets.
Time with Max Scherzer, when we saw what he was up to earlier in the spring. These guys are always looking for the.
Well, manager John Schneider has to be pretty happy what he's rolling out today in Dunedin. It certainly are. George Springer, Bo Bichette, Brandon Belt making his Blue Jays debut today.
At Rogers Center.
Big outing. Darrow jogs in, and there's one down. Setting up right now. Number 3 belongs to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Maybe the only question mark.
He's in there. Is he in the 4-hole?
Made by Westberg. Behind the bag to get the out. Name for the play they just made. This is Brandon Belt. Blue Jay fans are
like a fresh start for Brandon in a new country with a new team. Sometimes we got to take a step back and remember what the Blue Jays have done in added that young core, and that is how you put it together.
Certainly with a decade plus with the Giants, and all have a base on ball.
And we will see many more at-bats.
Bichette. They did a deep dive into how Chapman wanted to approach this season, big adjustments, but this is the time you tinker with stuff. Loves to get guys going back and then forward. For it, angling over from third, and it jumps out of his leather.
Well, spring training baseball, we are going to see experience right there.
There's Dalton Varsho. Takes up and out. Real Moreno, who got a taste in the big leagues. He was part of the package to get Varsho and
be finding the gloves of those outfielders.
Better than advertised. You put the eye test on Dalton Varsho, especially defensively.
Difference of the spin on the baseball that you get acclimated to.
2 down. Drives it up the line.
Pretty good knowledge of the strike zone as well.
Cowser and Cordero from center. It's Cowser handling the.
Intelligent with that baseball. He has a lot of pitch mixes, and in turn has a lot when it comes to Bassitt on the mound. With the new pitch clock and pitch calm, the game plan, and above all, guys, believing in.
And now we have seen the ripple effects of that with big additions like Kevin Gausman, Jose Barrios
at different times. So you really want to try.
Varsho hustling back. That ball went over his head.
Dunedin, not easy.
That's a Grapefruit League special right there, buddy.
Uncomfortable, you're not sure where he's going, and especially
in right field. Cordero tagging. Springer's got a great arm. Down, so the Blue Jays bring the infield in. Josh Lester comes up empty. Fouled back.
From Bassitt right there, but Chris was not happy with the pitch. Danny Jansen was set up on the inside part of the. Cannot call timeout. Bassitt with the slower breaking ball there. Let's see if he comes back inside now. The way he executed the pitch, but he got away.
At third base, the Blue Jays relaxed their infield. After he's acquired from Houston.
It was a shot down to third, and how many times we see Matt.
Couldn't snare the backhand. Varsho picks it up next to the line. A good throw to some more. Here is Colton Cowser. Goes the opposite way on the line. Hangs Blue Jays home game. Visit bluejays.com/outfield district. Kevin has played a lot here in camp. Seems to be his general theme of spring training this year. Good go. Good news on Vladdy's MRI. No struck. Both in the 2-2. Steps over, picks it up. Biggio's retired.
Trying to get the feedback. And he said, not bad. I felt rushed on a. But he did think that things are moving along.
Charges one. O'Hearn drifts back at the wall. And it's off the top of the. Finding a new swing path that he's really comfortable with now and driving the ball.
And more Blue Jays, you see this. You got a good secondary lead. You don't want to get to a point
that you're putting in, whether it's something you find in the cage during flips or video work.
In that process.
Grab another walk from Austin Voth. Runners are on the corners as we
place. It's good to take you through that plate appearance, guys.
You know, if that's the office here, and really drive it home with all the young and even some of the vet.
And the mental approach to hitting that he's instilling on some of these.
Dribbler towards third. Tough play for Henderson. Look at the out.
In the dirt can pay off and lead to a run. The Blue Jays were due. I think everything in this camp. John Schneider has dotted every I and crossed every.
Sure, there might have been the difference between 1 or 2 runs and over the course of
move for a shortstop. But he said something that we have to.
In front. Lazy fly ball for Cowser. Randall in their lineup. They went out and they added 3 position players, but they also made it in.
That was a clear MO. And by the way, add Brandon Belton.
How do now the new guys in Kiermaier and Varsho.
Balls dropping in everywhere. That's what you.
Ben Boom backs up Kevin Kiermaier in straightaway center. There's 1-0. In the pace, everything is happening as designed. The 6-week window is spring training. The bag and into center field. A 1-out single for Vavra. The regular season comes too with the left-handed hitter at the
He'll get there as well. Some will say
Bassett helps
off arm side.
Gets the big strikeout ahead. Mike,
you mean in a Blue Jays Orioles game? Understand is not going to start.
It's the walk here in the 3rd inning. That's 23 pitches in.
Trying to utilize all his pitches a little bit, and the hitter gets ahead on the count, and you get into swing.
Vavra scores in from first. Here comes O'Hearn. Level that he has played with the Orioles. At 69x 30th in this 3rd inning. Stay with it as it pops up off the lip to retire the side. Brandon Belt is making his first start of spring training, so Blue Jay fans are
restored, and also that rebound to get back.
Swing to drive that one and clank it off the glove of O'Hearn. And
it was all great, but how about a breath of fresh air?
Right field a base hit. Blue Jays will play it safe with Belt. Roll in the month of April. Am I going to back up Vladdy? Sure, I'm going to back up Vladdy.
He laughed too regarding the speed of these games because
Darrow's on the move, makes the play. Belt's chugging down the line.
Want to get something that you can elevate.
Next to Biggio, he stays with the play here in Dunedin. That's when the gates are open early, let alone all the creative things that will, like it will be, both from the field level, an opportunity to take that pregame stroll. Bat, challenging play. Westberg on to first in time. Blue Jay fans got a good look at Chris Bassett, the big right-hander added to the rotation.
Here with all the guys and play some baseball games with them.
John Lester leads it off.
It took a little age, so I got to warm the body up a little bit. Nice.
Kevin
here about 2 months ago, and I got to see it. I mean, obviously,
significant step.
You know, when I walked into the first team meeting, I thought to myself that this was a pretty special. You know, to me, when I walk in, I feel like I'm really the best division in baseball. So it's going to be tough. Some good pitchers. There we go. But I'm ready for it.
This star-studded affair, the Oilers and the Leafs, they meet for the second. A lot of their regulars play today. Here's a regular out of the bullpen. Last best earned run average in Oriole history.
Fill in.
Espinal takes the breaking ball on the out. Kevin Kiermaier is patrolling in the outfield.
Feel what that's like in the batter's box, because on TV,
Trevor Richards, Zach Pop, Jay by Springer. It'll hang up for Cowser in straightaway center field. Good to see after locking up a Blue Jay victory. We ask a lot about the American League Eastern Division for a lot of the new Blue Jays, but There's a challenger in Gunnar Henderson, the top prospect in minor league baseball this season.
Tries to abbreviate his leg kick. That's more of a control.
With the sunglasses gleaming, backs up and stays with the play. 20. Big cut.
That slider against lefties.
Left fielder, number 66.
Tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Sportsnet 1. Everywhere anymore. Doesn't matter if you're in A ball.
A young arm, especially a good one, and bringing him along.
Picking up Chapman over the line, back into fair territory. Speaking of great views and where to watch a ball game, we know Hazel May.
Places to hang out. So some of the junior J place there, the concessions will have a food truck style theme.
You're going to be very, very comfortable out there to have 3 catchers on the roster. Berman ticketed for AAA. Then you've got Jamie Ritchie.
Because I felt like this is a team that is to do that. Moreno be good for down the road, but it's just not
out. Chris Bassett today, Jordan Romano. Makes Trevor Richards so effective with that fading change.
The hockey style mask goes all the way around.
Rangy play by Bichette, off balance throw. The stretch training to assist their players, and the Major League Baseball said, no, we're not going to go there. The Blue Jays the last couple of years have not had that high octane.
Pop's name enters the equation, of course. And
side for the bat of Lester. Cordero zips around second. He'll go
base because now the first baseman's holding him on. It creates the hole over there.
And the Blue Jays turn 2. Espinal can't get the. You know, the finishing touches of the Blue Jays.
Seen when I talked about a lot of the high-powered arms in the league club at some point this season, and that's encouraging.
I love this bobblehead. It's great. Dalton Varsho.
It's been 4 innings. He's like, whoa. So he couldn't even realize how
seconds is where the timer starts. Varsho's into the glove.
Being ironed out. I spoke with Whit Merrifield earlier in the. We've seen pitch comm issues. We've seen batters fouling balls
and make some adjustments. I think there will be
to be a bit of an issue because no way are you going to make drastic change. And in defense of the umpires, they were told to call it by the letter of the law.
Score back in the second. Called out on strikes a second.
Hitting by Santiago, and this is exactly what we were talking about.
Can cruise in Espinal and get aboard, but he can sneak his way on. He knows that he has to walk more. Big breaking ball from Bauman. They were doing things different before everybody in the game. Right field, back at the wall, and it is 2-run home run from George Springer. Goes the opposite way and has Toronto
in Dunedin in that pandemic shortened season where they would try to drive the ball. But what it does is it prevents you from jumping out, drifting forward, and allows you to stay behind. You're going to keep that bat in the hitting zone a lot.
Easy hopper out to second. Norby feeds it over to first. Bichette bound. Blue Jays erupted for 4 in the home 6th inning, and it all started with a walk. A little Maverick Hanley, the backstop for the Orioles, his first at bat today. He's been put in right field. Reads, I can make good throws. My route
of the season. Does Varsho
balance? But somebody that's not on the 40. The corner for Vinny Capra. He'll have to dig it off the base of the pads.
Matt was here today. Saw him down on the field before the ball game.
The whole challenging play by Lantigua at first. Good stretch made by.
Agree with me, but it could happen because of the first deal, and he would agree with his manager Brandon Hyde. They just kept rolling.
On there,
yes.
Hop handled by Lantigua to retire the side,
and you can see that mindset has.
Jamie Ritchie works a leadoff walk for the spoke. Did you see the picture of 2 Hall of Famers? Turns at the wall, and it is gone. Elvis Martinez. That was no cheapie. Brief appearance with the Blue Jays last year. Hayne up for Newstrom. Tracks it down in the alley.
Tees then to BP, but then he would place 3 bases.
2 years ago had really nice returns in AAA Durham. Really interesting what clicks. Those little nuances, conversations, suggestions making the biggest difference for him.